Yeah, guys. When we talk about the narcissist returning, right, there's some things to watch out for here. You have to be careful of how things end with the person. And when I tell you guys, there's going to be signs that the narcissist will return again. Probably a narc that you dated, or a narc friend in your past, or something of this nature. There's things to watch out for, how they exit your life, whether they're going to come back or not. And these might not be accurate every single time, because sometimes, even if these things happen, they might literally leave forever. And it all depends. It all depends how things go with them and other people, because if they can have even more success with other people and use other people a lot easier than they could use you, or they figure out other people are a lot more naive than you are, they might never come back, because they can get a much more easier supply with other people. You might be way better than the people they're with, but these people are way more naive, so they can actually get more supply from those people because they're way more naive than you actually are. You're probably a lot harder to deal with for good reasons. You're not bending over backwards for some fucking narc, right? So it's the way they leave your life, man. Like, if you find a narc came into your life and they just did everything in their power to get you hooked. They showed you everything you wanted to see. They did everything you wanted them to do. They gave you the best of everything that you could have possibly had from them. And I think a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about here. They gave you a lot of good shit. And time goes on. And they just leave. They're just gone. They cut you off, they ghost you, whatever. Things were going so well. They knew in their minds how well things were going. They knew in their minds how much you did like them and want to be with them. They probably were convinced that, yep, I could have this person if I want them. So now I'm going to leave. When they do this, they gain so much power over you, it's not even funny. And I'm not even joking. And it's so frustrating when it happens. But it's what happens, and man, this could literally happen to anybody. Like, I could be with some girl, I could do this to her. Some girl could be with me, she could do this to me. Vice versa with you, with someone, or with them to you. Like, but the thing is, like, healthy people don't do shit like this. Unhealthy people, narcs, Jezebels, they will do this stuff to other people and not even think twice. Because it's their bread and butter. It's what they do. They could have even liked the person they were doing this kind of shit to. But they felt the need to do it. Because they wanted to gain that much power and control and leverage over you. So they will leave. They'll go off to other supply. They will keep you in the woodworks. And eventually they will come back. So it's exactly what they will do. This is how you know the narcissist will return once again. If they get you super hooked, super attached, you guys like each other a lot, but then they just ghost, they leave, and you're just stuck. Like, in the middle of butt fucking nowhere. It's like you still have that attachment towards that person, and they know this. Like, they know this, guys. They know this. So, they will go to other people. They will do something very similar to other people. And you know what? Time's gonna go on. Time's gonna go on. Time's gonna go on. Time's gonna go on. And then they will leave that person. They'll probably come back to you. Which is exactly why I said, watch out for this kind of stuff. If they come back to you, there's a good chance they've done this to somebody else. Now it's your turn to get back with them. And what they're doing here, guys, is they're creating a whole bunch of sources of supply that they know in their minds they can go back to. It's what they're doing. Because they don't feel secure enough that they can get one person and keep them. Which is why they're going to do these things. It is evil. It is selfish. It is fucked up. But it's what they do. Because they don't trust themselves to be good enough. So they do this evil kind of stuff. They think it's alright. They think it's all funny. They think it's funny to really damage you and hurt you in this way. And it's ridiculous. But it's what they do. And like I said, literally anybody could do this to anybody. Like, I could get a girl to like me tomorrow. And I could literally do that to her. And of course it would take longer than tomorrow, but like, I could literally get a girl and spark a girl's attention to start talking to her, to slowly start to get to like me over time, and then all of a sudden, boom, cut her off, ghost her, leave her wondering, leave her just baffled, hurt. But why? Why do that? The thing is, my whole point, anyone could do it. Anybody could do it. It does not mean that you should. In fact, you fucking should not. Because you're a fucking coward. You're a piece of shit. If you do this. Literally. You deserve to literally fucking drown somewhere. Because you're causing much more pain than just going out like that. I'm telling you now. Just because you're alive does not mean you went through a whole lot of pain. Just because you're alive, what I mean is by this is like, just because you're alive, it doesn't mean you haven't experienced an overwhelming amount of pain. The strongest warriors have experienced an immense amount of pain and they keep going forward. You could have had life on easy mode your whole life and just die. Just because you're dead does not mean you experience more pain. In fact, I would argue actually dying, you do not experience the most pain. You go out. Now you feel nothing. Like, you guys ever faint before? I've fainted before. A couple times. You don't feel nothing until you get up. That's probably what it feels like to die. I would guess. You go out. You ever sleep before? I'm pretty sure you have. Like, it's that simple. You don't feel it. I've literally fainted and hit the floor. Smashed my head and got a black eye. Because I smashed my face off a nightstand whenever I fucking fainted. And this was last year, I think, actually. But, you know, the longer you live, the more pain you're going to experience. It's just inevitable. But it's all about who can take the most pain and keep pushing forward at the end of the day. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I experience a lot of pain in a lot of different ways. Physically, mentally, in so many ways, spiritually. And I feel I can take just about anything and keep pushing forward. So, it's how you gotta be. And you know, with these narcs, man, there's something that caused them an immense amount of pain. And they feel the need to make others feel not only what they feel, but worse. They're gonna put you under worse than they are. They're gonna make you feel more pain than they even feel, which is fucking horrific. Like, could you imagine feeling worse than a narc? More hurt than a narc? That's why it takes some next level shit to overcome that. The difference between you and a narc is that you can overcome those things and actually feel good and make yourself feel good again by being a fucking warrior. They make excuses. They stay hurt. They stay stuck. I believe, narcissist, it's a disorder. It's not a fucking disorder. I think it's bullshit. I think it's a choice. I think for them to be a narcissist is a choice. You have an entitlement. You're entitled. You're selfish. You're making a choice to be that way. You're not making a choice to do the right things. You're making a choice to do the wrong things. It ain't no GD disorder. It is not. It's a myth. It's all in their heads, and like, they feel entitled that they don't have to go through anything. They don't have to figure out a way. They don't have to find a way to overcome things. They're just going to destroy everything else because that's what they feel like doing. Well, guess what? I felt like taking people's lives whenever I was at my lowest. Would it make it right for me to go and take people's lives? Would it make it right for me to go and take people's lives that done me terribly wrong? Would it make it right for me to go and punch all my haters in the face because I don't like how they made me feel? No. You gotta be a little tougher than that, bruh. Guess what? I'm tough. I can take shit. I can take shit and keep pushing forward and not harm nobody else. If you have to do that, that's kind of a weakness. And of course you're going to feel like doing it. But the thing is, you have to be stronger than how you feel. I'm capable of doing a lot of damage, guys. And I've done damage before to people that have actually tried to hurt me physically. Because that's when you're going to get really damaged. Is when you try and do something stupid like that. Because you have to defend yourself. But, real strength is not retaliating if you don't have to. Now, if someone's punching you in the face in plain sight, you have to retaliate, obviously. You have to put a fucking beat down on their ass. Or else you might die. Like, that's the thing, man. You could take one shot to the temple in the wrong way, and you could literally die. There's a hockey player last winter from Russia. He was a captain on a team. He had big hockey inspirations. He took one shot. He took one puck somewhere around the head or the neck, I think, in some area, and it did something to him, and it killed him. You can take a shot in any way and die. So, yeah. When it comes to fighting and stuff, I do not mess around, bro. But when it comes to something that's just not necessary of retaliating, it takes true strength. People's going to make you feel some type of way. If people hurt you badly, you're going to want... There's going to be some little something in you that's going to want to harm them very bad. But it don't make it right. When it comes to these school shooters, rapists, stuff like this, they're so hurt they can't help it. They take the easy way out and they do what they do. You can't be a person like that that's just reacting of how you feel all the time. If everyone reacted of how they felt all the time, the world would be in shambles. Like, strong people in the world exist for a reason. Just because you feel some type of way, don't make it right to go and do something like that. If you argue with your parents, let's say your mom pisses you off or something, it don't make you right to knock her lights out. Boom! Just because you got in an argument. You let things go. Like, you know what I mean? It takes strength to do the right things, even when you don't feel like it. That's what I'm trying to say. So, even when a narc does you wrong or something like that, man, like, you gotta do the right thing. You can't retaliate. You can't go after other people after they done you wrong and right off into the sunset and they're gonna do it to other people and whatever else. It doesn't make it right for you to go to other people to do to someone else what happened to you. But with these narcs, which is why we label them narcs, it's because they make an excuse to be a shitty person. They're entitled. They react and they behave off of how they fucking feel. You weak, spineless coward. Like, they're willing to ruin other people's lives because they feel like it. They're not strong enough to bite the bullet, to go through their own stuff, to be a decent human being. They're not strong enough to do that. They have very little strength. They are weak cowards that always take the easy way out. Oh, well, that person did me wrong. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna create chaos. I'm gonna create havoc. I'm gonna ruin everyone's lives. I'm gonna play everyone like a fiddle and have my way. That's how they live. That's the things they do. Like, so you can never deal with these narcs. You just have to cut them off. What's sad is some of these weak individuals had a lot of potential. In fact, the person I used to be with had a lot of potential, but that don't matter. You can see the best genetically person ever, and like always. And even when they behave, they're really good, but if they have issues, man, like you can't deal with people with serious issues, bro, because they're going to cause serious issues, bro. Like, for real. You don't want that. You don't want people in your life that is going to cause serious issues. They could ruin your life. If you commit to a hoe, she will ruin your life. You commit to a narc, they will ruin your life. Any woman that's a hoe, let's say, just for example, I don't care. Let's say, for example, there's something not right with that woman. Something happened to make her be that way, because she is not designed to be that way. She could have got done dirty by some guy. I'm just going to be a hoe now. I'm just going to have my way now and do this and do this and do this. That's weak. That's a weakness, and you're only ruining your value by doing something so stupid. You could have bit the bullet. You could have improved. But instead you get entitled. Oh, I want to have my way. Yeah. Well, you ruin your value, so congratulations. You just made everything 10 times worse by acting off of how you feel, which is what I tell you guys not to do. We all feel some type of way all the time. It doesn't mean that's how you have to act. Like, if you get in an argument with a friend, just a stupid argument, doesn't mean you clock them upside their fucking head. I get in in arguments I've had with actual friends in my life, like just about stupid shit. Like, you could have a disagreement on something, it could turn into kind of an argument. I was so like careless towards it, like, yeah. And we're just talking back and forth, yeah. And this person might have been freaking and losing it and just whatever, because I'm proving them wrong. And I'm just right calm, quiet, yeah. Giving right short answers, yeah. Yeah, can we stop arguing now? Because I really don't care. I'm past this now. And I'm just cool about it. Because I don't care. And if they just keep going on, pissing you off, it doesn't mean you just clock them upside their head because you feel like it. You might even feel like it, but it doesn't mean you should. So, if you come in contact with a narc and they do you wrong, it doesn't mean you should go and do other people wrong or even retaliate and do this person wrong. Just improve. Be strong. That's what takes real strength. Like, that's really the real strength. The real strength is, or let's say if someone like, I don't know, did something to you, it doesn't mean you just go and do something back. It depends what it is. I mean, there's sequences where, you might have to. But if it's not necessary, it's not necessary. If someone does you wrong, it's not necessary to go and do other people wrong. Does that make it necessary? It does not. You gotta be smart, man. Learn from what happened. Like, there's a part of it, it's most likely if someone really manipulated you bad, it's definitely more their fault than yours. 100%. Because you were being genuine the whole time. How could it possibly be your fault? You don't really see it that way, but you just have to get better. And when you get better, you can save yourself from that situation again. There is a part of it and a percentage of it that is your fault for getting in an entanglement with a person like that because you chose to. You could have rejected them. You could have pushed them away. You could have, nope, not happen. But you allowed it to happen. As much as you don't want to see it that way, it is the truth. Same as me in the past. We let things happen. But we didn't know it was going to happen, so we don't see it that way. It is their fault, is what we'll say, which mostly yes, but there's a part of it still, like I said, that it's our fault for letting it happen. So you learn from it. You don't get weak from it. Oh, I'm just going to get you back, because now you're not being yourself. Now you're all up in shambles, which is where they wanted you to be anyways. So you don't do that. You get better, you learn, you get stronger. You don't let that shit happen a second time, because now you know better. So that's pretty much the lesson for today, the video for today. And we out. I'll be back tomorrow as always with more videos. Yes, sir, ski.